So today I have a huge haul. These are books that I got for my birthday. I got these a while ago, so it's been a while, but some people got me these books as gifts, and then I got some of these books for myself. So let's just start. I might not talk about some of these books that much because I have a lot of books to go through. I have over 25 books to show. So the first book I have is Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. This is the illustrated edition. I have the other illustrated editions and I wanted to kind of reread them in this form. I have yet to finish the series. I keep starting over because I keep forgetting what happened, and I've had the books since elementary school, so over 20 years ago, so long overdue on my TBR. I've had a TBR since I was like 5, honestly, because I got the first Harry Potter book when I was 5 or 6 and didn't read it till middle school, I think. I don't know, but I haven't read the series completely, so I only got to the 3rd book, so I've never read Goblet of Fire. 2020 is going to be the year that I finally finish reading the Harry Potter books, okay? The next book I have is Frankly in Love by David Yoon, and you've probably seen this everywhere on YouTube, but Keisha got me this for my birthday. I will link her YouTube channel down below. We became friends here on YouTube, but we're in real life friends, so yeah, she got me this. I really wanted to read it. I don't read YA that often, but this just sounded so cute. It's about, was it about the boy or a girl? Oh, it's a boy, and his parents want him to date like a Korean girl, but he's dating like a white girl instead, or pretends to, but then ends up liking both, I think. I don't know. Excited to read this. The next one I have is The Most Dangerous Place on Earth, and this one I actually found at the dollar store. It was $1 and I don't know much about it. I think it takes place in a high school. Alexa from Alexa Piera, I think that's how you say it. I'll link her channel down below, but she's also a booktuber here. She gave this 5 stars, I think, so I'm excited to read this. And I just noticed that Anthony Doerr from All the Light We Cannot See blurbed it, so I'm excited to read this, and I can't believe I found it for $1. Also, I feel like I'm being a little weird and a little less quiet because my husband's friend is downstairs and I really need to get this video filmed, but I don't want to make a lot of noise. So the next one I have is Tomy, I think that's how you say it, and I am just on a mission to read everything by, I think you say it, Junji Ito, I think that's how you say it, but I'm on a mission to read everything by him. And this is basically horror manga. I just flipped to a random page, but I'll show you. I've read a few things by him. I don't even remember because my red shelf is in the other room, but I really loved his style. And yeah, so she got me this one. This one I think is about a girl that seduces men and then drives them to murder. I don't know, sounds crazy, but I heard good things about it. The next one I have here is The Unpassing. This one I haven't seen a lot of on BookTube. I don't think I've seen anything on it, actually. It's about this Taiwanese family that moves to Anchorage, Alaska, and that's the part that really intrigued me and really made me want to pick this up. It just sounded really good, and I'm really excited to read this. The next one I have here that Keisha also got me is Ball Don't Lie by Matt De La Pena. Ignore the title because I feel like his titles and like his old covers didn't really make you want to pick up the book, but the new covers do look better. So this is a new cover, and this one is about a foster kid, and I think he turns to playing basketball to kind of like find a way out. So if you want to read more books with diversity, I definitely recommend Matt De La Pena, especially if you speak Spanish, because there's like, I don't know, little phrases and little things that I find funny and like that you can kind of relate to. So that's always nice. And even though this is YA, I feel like he's become one of my favorite YA authors because I've read everything by him, I think, so far, except for this book. But I definitely recommend Matt De La Pena if you're looking for something to read that's relatable, even though you're an adult like me, almost 30 years old. Okay, I thought my husband could hear me downstairs, but apparently he was just asking me what I wanted to eat. but I thought they could hear me and they were telling me to like be quiet or something. I don't know. I'm just so paranoid right now because he doesn't know I have a YouTube channel. Like the friend doesn't know I have a YouTube channel. But let's just move on to the next book. The next book is Dominicana by Angie Cruz, and this is one of my most anticipated reads. It's about this man. So she lives with her family in the Dominican Republic, and this man I think offers to marry her and take her to New York City for like a better life, and I think she wants to slowly bring her family members over to the US, but I think it's about like her struggle with this marriage with this older man. So I think it's going to be really good. I feel like I might cry, but I really want to read this one too. The next one is, I think you pronounce it Gyo, but I read the first volume by the same author, Junji Ito, and I really liked it. This is volume 2, so I don't want to spoil it, but volume 1, basically these little, let me see if I can find a picture of them. These creatures, these like walking fish, walking sea creatures come out of the ocean and they start growing legs. Let me see if I can find something. This is like, gets real creepy, like, so if you can see that. I really recommend him if you like horror or if you're looking to explore manga. This is really good and the illustrations are amazing. So another one by the same author is Dissolving Classroom, and this one I just got because it looked really cool. I'm gonna collect all his stuff, I swear, because I love it all, but this one was only $3.99. It was on sale, so I don't know what this one is about, but this one, the style seems a little different, but it still looks really good, so I'm excited to read that. This one my husband got me, and it's Uzumaki, same author, so horror manga still. All his stuff is horror manga. So this one is about this town in Japan that's cursed, and it says not by a person but by a pattern. So I don't know, it says the pattern that people are cursed by is Uzumaki, the spiral, the hypnotic secret shape of the world. So I'm excited to read this one. Oh, I saw some real crazy just now, but I guess I'll keep it a surprise. Well, I kind of want to show you guys something. Here, I'll show you some. Isn't it crazy? I'm just so excited to read that. The next one I got myself, and it's The Education of Augie Marasti, a residential school memoir. I did not know it would be this small. Like, look how small this is. I thought it was a full-fledged book, but it's really small. So this one, I've read some things about residential schools, and I've also listened to a podcast. The basis of it is that they rounded up all the indigenous children in Canada. So these kids were put into these schools and they basically tried to whitewash them. They wiped away their culture, their language. They were punished if they spoke their language. They just had a horrible time. Like, I listened to this podcast and they had somebody talk about their time in a residential school, and it was just really sad. So I don't know why I'm reading this, because it just makes me sad, but I want to know more about it, and I'm also on a mission to read more things by indigenous authors, so I'm excited to read this. So these next 2 books I got when Barnes & Nobles was having their sale. Also counted it as a treat myself for my birthday, and I got The War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, and I have a copy already, but it's the Borders copy. If any of you out there are old, then when Borders was around, like, I swear their books were way cheaper. Like, you could get books for like $4, I swear, but I feel like books have gotten more expensive since they closed. But yeah, anyways, I read this. It's one of my favorite classics. Definitely recommend it if you're trying to look for a classic and you're new to classics. This is one of the first ones I ever picked up to read, and I definitely want to reread it, so I wanted to get another copy of that. The next one I've never read, and it's 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, and this is a classic and I want to read it, so I got it. These next books are from Book Outlet. So the first book I have is Practical Magic, and I read this 2 years ago, I think, and I really liked it. It did make me want to read more by Alice Hoffman, and I watched the movie and I really liked the movie, so it's similar to the movie. But if you like the movie, I definitely recommend reading the book. This next one is kind of like, I don't know, I love Stranger Things, so I had to get this, and it's Runaway Max And it's just kind of like, you know how you have like all these authors writing Star Wars books and there's a million of them that come out? Well, I feel like this is going to be kind of the same thing, because they've already come out with I think like 3 books and I've read one of them. And I don't know, I just like it. It's fun. Even though this is YA, I feel like it's going to be fun. You get to learn more about Max. So I'm excited to read that. This one I saw that it was on a lot of people's favorite books of all time, and it's The Heart's Invisible Furies. I don't know much about this, but I kind of want to go into it blindly because someone said it was better to not know anything at all. So got that. So this one I saw on Girly Girl Bookworm's channel, and it's What Made Maddie, I said Maddie Run. So one of the main reasons I wanted to get this is because she doesn't read a lot of nonfiction and she really loved this one. So I really wanted to get it because I knew it was going to be a good one. So I got this one. So this next book is A $500 House in Detroit, and it's nonfiction. It's a memoir, and the author goes and buys a $500 house in Detroit. I think it's about his experience like rebuilding it room by room and everything he has to go through. He didn't have a job or friends or money, so I think it's going to be about his struggle on how hard it was to rebuild this house. This next one is The Sound of Gravel, and this is a memoir. As you can tell, I really love memoirs. So this one is about this lady who grew up in a polygamous family on a farm in the middle of nowhere in Mexico, and she was the 39th child of her father's 42 children. So that is really crazy, but I'm really like fascinated by this kind of stuff, so I'm interested to see what this is going to be about and read more about it because I just don't know much about the subject. So the next one I saw on someone's channel, and it's Invasion of the Body Snatchers, and this is a classic science fiction book, and I don't think the cover is supposed to really like do it justice. I heard that this was not a good cover to get. This is about this doctor who finds out that alien life forms are taking over the bodies and minds of his neighbors, his friends, his family, and the woman he loves, and the entire world as he knows it. So it sounds really good, and I feel like since I liked War of the Worlds, I'm gonna like this one. This next one I already read. I loved it. I don't read a lot of middle grade, so if you're looking to expand your middle grade horizons, I definitely recommend this. It's The School of Good and Evil by Saman Chanini, I think that's how you say it. I actually met him at BEA in 2013. He had just released the sequel to this book, so they were handing out the sequel and signing it. So that was really, really cool that I have my signed copy. And now I have a hardback of the first book because I didn't own the first book, but I owned the other books in hardback. And yeah, I want to reread this book and reread the series. Like I said, I'm not really into middle grade, and a lot of it that I read I don't really like because I feel like I would have loved it if I was little, but not at this age. But I definitely recommend picking this up if you haven't yet. The next one I have here is Life and Death in the Andes, on the trail of bandits, heroes, and revolutionaries. And this one I think is just like life in the Andes. So in the Andes Mountains in South America. And yeah, I love nonfiction, as you can tell, so I'm excited to get into this one too. This next one I loved. It was one of my favorites of 2019, and it's The Great Alone by Kristen Hanna. And I got this one at Book Outlet too. All these I got at Book Outlet, and yeah, they had it for a good price, and I really want to reread it one day. I really, really loved it. If you're into adventure or just books based in Alaska, I definitely recommend this one. I don't want to give too much away, but if you're into those things, then you will love this one. I gave this one 5 stars, and you should pick it up if you haven't read it yet. This next one I got because it was on sale, and I showed it in one of my vlogs, which if you missed, I will link that down below too. And it's Me by Elton John. So this book is about Elton John, and I'm excited to read more about his life. Oh, someone wants to come in here. Hi. She's being shy. But I'm excited to read more about his life. If you haven't seen my vlog, I unboxed the Elton John book in that vlog. Oh, here we have some visitors. Here's the boy. Hi, buddy. You wanted to come in here? I need to close the door so people can't hear me booktubing. The next one I have here was recommended by Carla in one of her videos, and it's Red River Girl, The Life and Death of Tina Fontaine. I'm really excited to read this because I read The Perfect Predator that Carla recommended in one of her books that was super underrated, and I loved it. And this seems super underrated, and I feel like I'm gonna love it too. I think her recommendations are totally on point. So if you haven't checked out her channel, I will link it down below. And yeah, I'm excited to read this too. I know I say this about all these books, but I really am excited to read all these books. This next one I got at the dollar store too, and it's Where They Found Her by Kimberly McCreight. And she is the author of Reconstructing Amelia, and I really liked that book, so I'm excited to read this one. And I also saw that Books and Lala liked this book, and Gillian Flynn blurbed it, so I'm excited to read it, and I can't believe I found it for $1. So this next book I really loved. It's one of my all-time favorites now, and it's The Rules of Magic by Alice Hoffman. Same author as Practical Magic. This book is so good. If you like practical magic, or if you're looking to dive into adult fiction for the first time, this is a really good book to pick up. I just remember loving it so much, so I can't believe they had this on Book Outlet, and I'm excited to have it in my collection now. So those were all the books that I got for my birthday. Super belated, but yeah, now I can reorganize them on my shelf and read some of them. I don't know if this happens to you, but do you feel like if you haven't hauled a book that you can't read it for some reason? I don't know. I feel like that's kind of a weird thing that I have. But anyways, let me know if you've read any of these books, or if you plan on reading any of these books. Definitely let me know, and let's talk in the comments down below. I want to do more buddy reads, and it fell, but I want to read more. I want to do more buddy reads in 2020, so definitely comment down below if you see anything that you might want to read. And yeah, I will see you all in the next video. Here is the boy and the girl over here crying to end the video. Bye.